in New York City, and I've been on TV shows, and I'm global award winning, and I'm sitting at the table with like the owner of Paul Mitchell and Vidal Sassoon, Eden Sassoon, and I'm selling lashes on Facebook Live. I'm like, oh God, this isn't a good look. But a boy gotta pay his bills. And I guess I share this with you to let you know that in life, there are highs and lows. And we come together as a tribe of individuals who are cut from a type of creative, artistic. I'm sure you've heard people go, get a real job. Or how's that clientele building? Or are they coming back, you know? But when you are so in passion and in alignment with what you love and what you do, there's almost like no taking it away from you. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, this is crazy. And so there I was, online, selling other products, my friends' products. So I'm very, I've been a show ambassador and a spokesman for brands all across the board, from MAC Cosmetics to indie brands like Bella and Beauty Creations, and I was the first makeup artist for Morphe when no one knew who Morphe Brushes was. They dropped the word brushes and then just created their own brand and called it Morphe. But Morphe is who my private label is through. So all my brushes that I had done I was with Linda and Chris, and prior to them, you guys know about Morphe, yeah? You've all heard of Morphe, which is now sadly has had its high and low. They no longer are in existence in America.
What?
They took a huge high and took over the world in America, and then even they have gone bankrupt and had to close their doors. They are online, but I say these things to say not only the brands that I've been in relationship with, but that life is this crazy roller coaster of how we manage our businesses and how we're able to use our creativity to rebuild our business. And so while I was home, I was thinking, I'm selling all these brands, and I was like, wait a minute. I think I'm ready to invest and build my own product. So I started building my lashes, and lo and behold, I have my foundation line, and my newest baby is my Beauty Warrior eyebrow pencils, which I'll be talking about, and that I'm rocking today. And I guess the reason I share the part about me selling on Facebook Live and being at a little bit of a low and feeling like I was resorting to things that maybe I never thought I'd have to is, I want to encourage and inspire any one of you that might be struggling with your business or might be wondering, is this going to really work out? Am I going to be the, more than six-figure income earner, the millionaire salon? But we have to always, life has its ups and downs, and I would not have had the branding and the product placement and all of the knowledge of how to work with manufacturers and product development had I not built these relationships with Morphe and selling online and selling other people's products and learning, hey, wait a minute, where did you get that? What does the graphic designer do to build your branding? How did you copyright? It's like all that business knowledge later on pays off. And so here we are being invited back to IBS. Hey, Don, we want you to come back and do an education. We want you on the look and learn stage. If you want, there's the option of having a booth. And I was like, I have my own booth? Wait a minute, I'm gonna have my booth with my products to sell to the homies, the tribe people. I was like, wait a minute, this is so cool. And so it's a full circle moment. Always be in creation, always be inspired, always say, you know what, when everyone else is thinking, boy, you know how many eyebrow pencils are on the market? Who's gonna buy they're going to buy it because it's mine. And it's a fantastic product and it's got great product, quality. But you can buy the Dior. It was inspired by the Dior pencil, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Cheaper.
People are coming to purchase from you. They're getting their bangs trimmed because of you. They're going to you for your winged eyeliner because they like you. Yes, my skill level is there. Yes, I have this cool trophy I get to wave around, and I will wave that trophy around. But thank you. Yes, global award winning. Yeah. It just sounds fancy,
Yeah. Global Beauty Masters.
Yes, but what I also know is that if you're not jumping in the game of competition with yourself and others, then you're kind of just like playing it safe and playing it easy. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But I've always jumped in the game of being competitive. I've even been on weight loss shows. I'm gordito again right now. Okay, the panza came back. But I was on a weight loss dance TV show in 2010 where I lost 125 pounds in 3 months.
Good job.
Yes, thank you. And so whether it's makeup and beauty, or it's health and fitness and wellness or whatever, I'm like, let me compete. Let me prove to myself and to others, like, I'm gonna do the damn thing, you know? And I just say that not to gloat or to toot my own horn, but to hopefully spark that little piece in your brain and go, I want to start my own haircut line. Wait, I want to do my own eyeshadow palettes. Wait, I want to do my own new shears or nail line, you know, or whatever, your makeup line, your eyebrow pencil. And so I say go for it. And so any questions before we get started with application? We're good? Anything you want to know? Question, Travis? I know you got something. We were on the TV show together, right?
Yep.
We were competing
I
together?
was a photographer. The season you were on, I was doing photography behind the scenes, and then the second season, I was competing, and you were one of the student judges.
I was a judge. Yeah, I got brought back for the second
Yeah.
season as a judge. We were on the Discovery or the TLC network.
TLC was second season. Discovery was season 1.
This is why I love you. Look at, I'm getting so old. I'm like, what TV show was it? What network was it on? Guess question. I can't even remember what channel I was on.
I'm tired of telling people.
Calm down and Bowery, take a chill, right? This was 10 years. But I love you. You were so good. You were the photographer on first season, and second season you came back to compete.
Yep.
It was so cool. And do you agree with like jumping in the game of competing and being in competition?
Yeah, like, I'm not a competitive person. I never have been. Sports, none of that stuff I ever had any interest in. But competing against myself, being better than I was the day before, that is what I strive for. I could do the same thing every day, same eyeliner, same everything, but each day I'm finding the positive and the growth in that. And that's what it takes, is just competing with yourself and being like, is this better?
Right.
Why is it not? How do I fix it? Let's beat me yesterday.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yes, give some love to that. I love you. Travis, you're the bomb. He's like, I didn't know I was going to be assisting you today. I'm all, you are, I love you. And you build these relationships when you're in these shows or in the salon. Hi ladies, welcome. Come on in, find a space. Wherever, no, you're good. And so, and now we're talking, speaking of eyeliner. Anyone ever tried to struggle with getting the both sides even? Okay. Yeah. Like, let's keep it real. You're like, why am I got the liner leaning over here? Or you're doing glam on someone and you're used to doing your own cat eye, and then you go to do her or his or theirs cat eye pronouns. It's a learning curve for me too, y'all. It's a learning curve. And she has mature lids. And you're not used to working on eyes that are mature and have a little bit of, you know, the mature lid is what we're calling it. We don't call wrinkles, we say they are expression lines. Or they're Asian eye and they have a shallow lid. And you're thinking, how do I create this so that when they open their eyes, a lot of times with Asian eyes, which are my favorite, the eyelid retracts and you have what we refer to as a shallow eye, or the one lid, right? They don't have the deep set crease. Or you predominantly work on your own ethnicity, brown skin, and you have a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, and she has super big round eyes, and you're like, why is this not looking the same? What is that? Ooh. So every single person is different, and as an artist, I have discovered, especially in a world driven by social media, makeup artists, everybody is a makeup artist, and then they could do their own face. But you put them, a white lady, a black lady, an Asian lady, one in their teens, one in their middle age, and one in their senior years. Can they make each individual look their best with what they're working with? And because, and that is a no. When it's just a social media moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love them. I think they're completely relevant. And I definitely ride the social media and Instagram wave. But there is a level of expertise. We are all professionals in this room, correct? Everyone went to school, everyone got licensed. Okay, so I just want to remind you that there is a level of expertise that you get to have that is so relevant and that is so beautiful and elevated, and you get to, I think, just walk with your head held high knowing that you have just that relevance that you bring to the table as well as a professional. And we're constantly being inspired. And so I share that to get to my demo, because we're gonna work. When I worked I started my career at 16 years old, well 15 and a half. I got my worker's permit and I got a job at McDonald's and I lasted 24 hours. I was like, oh hell no, this is hard! This is hard! I was like, there's someone talking to me right here, someone's yelling at me right there. I'm like, oh, get me out of here. So I'm trying to give grace to everyone that I go through the drive-thru. I know that they're doing 3,000 things at once, and I do. But I was inspired. Mama Helen is my #1 lady. She's my inspiration. She was the first beauty warrior in our family. In the 1960s, she was a beautician with all my tias. They had a salon called the Sister Salon, and my grandpa put them through beauty school and said, in the 1950s and 60s, you'll never have to rely on a man. If and when you do get married, you will always have a vocation and a trade to fall back on in the event that you are finding yourself single and having to provide for yourself. So I grew up with a mama who was like, your hair's gotta look right, check your nose, check your eyes. She even taught us to walk, me and my twin brother, chest up, roll your heels. Don't be dragging your heels. I would be like, dang, it's a military home? I thought you were a beautician, girl. I say that because that's how I was built. At 15 years old, I just knew I wanted to. It was either that my dad's a custodian, respect those in the cleaning service, but yes, and so I was inspired by the 2 leaders of my life. Even though they were divorced, Dad was in the custodial, but he had the entrepreneurial venture. He went to build his business on his own, and Mom was a beautician, and then ended up doing food service stuff. But so I followed in Mama's footsteps, and so I got a job at Star Shots in the mall in the 1990s. Do you guys remember Star Shots, Glamour Shots?
Yeah, Manchester
Everybody,
Mall.
someone have an auntie or a
Manchester
tia or
Mall.
somebody with the feather boa, and that earring popped out to the side. You know what I'm talking about? Like, dang, that picture look old. Yeah. Or the leather jacket with the pop collar. Yeah.
I brought those Playboy backdrops back to here in Vegas. I have a photo studio and a beauty studio that has the old school backdrop.
I love
Yeah.
the backdrops. Oh, no, let's see what the backdrop was. I love that. The
Those are
airbrushed
good.
backdrop. Yes, I love that too. But that's what built me. And I remember thinking to myself at 15, I went to go to the audition, and you had to audition. You interviewed verbally, and then you had to audition, meaning you had to do a model. And so I'm 15 and 16 years old. I don't know what the hell I'm really doing. I'm so excited. And I put blush on that looks like 2 bricks. I do mascara that's hella like crazy, and it's all smeared. But when we took the picture back then, there were these big, huge flashlights that would go poof, and it would blur everything out. So now all that craziness that didn't look so perfected and blended, it just looked airbrushed, which we now call filters, right? We all know what a filter is today. We were filtering on another level back then. So I learned how to do makeup. I learned how to do makeup by doing foundation 3 to 4 shades darker than the individual skin tone. I would do blush that was so dark and heavy. I was taught by a Hollywood makeup artist to do liner and mascara that was just super rich and dark and deep. But when that flash hit, it blended everything out and made it just look so soft and blended. So I had a rude awakening when I finally got my promotion. I worked at Sears Cosmetics. Ooh, fancy. I went to Sears Cosmetics, and the manager had seen me working at Star Shot. She was like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 17. I've been doing makeup for 2 years. She was like, I think you might be ready. But I got a call from Chanel. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say the brand. Oh, well. Enough about the dog now. Just pretend you didn't hear the brand. So this brand, we had an opportunity, and I went over to the brand and I said, listen, I am a professional makeup artist, and I have been doing makeup in a photo studio for 2 years. I am 17. I'm about to make this big money. How much you guys pay? They're like, $17 an hour. $17 an hour? I'm 17 years old. That's $1 a year. And she was like, let me see your portfolio. So I went to show her my portfolio, and as I went and I showed it to this brand rep, she looked at, she went, you do realize we're a professional cosmetic brand? And I said, yes. Yes, I'm a professional. She was like, sweetie, come back when you're a real professional, and say the word back to me. And I remember just thinking, ouch. And my mentor at the time, Teresa Norman, who is black and Mexican, that's some sass. She said, at the time I was not Adamme yet, I was just Adam. She goes, Adam, what did she do to you? I said, yeah, she did that. Oh, no, you're gonna put a tie and a shirt on and your slacks. We're gonna go back down there I'm gonna be in my business suit, and I'm gonna represent you, and and you just stay quiet and you watch and learn. And so we walked back to that brand that I was talking about, and I was like, oh my God, this is so scary, what the hell? Hello, my name is Teresa Norman, and I am here as a representative for my client, Adamme Sosa. He was here and feels extremely disrespected, and we want to talk to the people in charge. No one is to be treated in this manner, especially a professional applying for a job within your facility. I was like, oh, language. And I said, oh, Teresa, I said, no. He was like, oh, well, what's the problem? Oh, are you the person in charge? No, she's in the back. Scouring all through the Macy's. And the whispers going on. And the guy over at Christian Dior Cosmetics, oh, didn't mean to say that brand. The guy from the brand over next door goes, I guess he must have got wind of it. And then he walked over and he goes, excuse me, ma'am, is your name Teresa? She goes, yeah, yes. He's like, oh, you know what, I was thinking about you. Didn't he come in looking for a job the other day? She goes, yes, he did come in here looking for a job. He goes, you know what? We want to give him an opportunity. We would like to see if he could come in on Saturday. She was like, you can talk to him? I was like, hi. Well, we want to know, Christian Dior Cosmetics, come in, I like your tie. I had long hair at the time. They're like, you keep your hair back in a ponytail like that. And I have eyeliner. I was like, little less eyeliner. Come on in and see how you do. And I was like, okay. And when Teresa, we walked in, Teresa looked at me and she was like, boom. And I was like, oh. I share that story to say that sometimes we are disregarded, disrespected, demeaned, and looked down upon. And no one deserves to be treated in such manner. I learned at that time to stand up for myself and to have a sense of security and confidence and vocabulary to convey my emotions. As a poor boy from the hood, I didn't have the words to convey and to even stand up for myself. I didn't even know there was, and so I share that because in those moments we have to remember, like, we can, but it does help to have a mentor. And so I would highly recommend, if you don't, partner up with someone who seems to be doing the game a little stronger than you are. You know, and learn from them, their salon business. How are they thriving? How are they building their clientele? The artistry is coming. The artistry I love. I love doing Aisha, but it's these types of things that I think are gonna be nuggets for you to take home to your businesses and go, wait a minute, that kind of, and I see some knots happening. Anyway, I had to learn now how to do makeup for real. I mean, not for real, but not in the Hollywood studio. And so these ladies would come and I was doing their foundation 4 shades darker. And so it was just like, this is not the business. And the pencil was $38. I had never sold that like an eyeliner or a lip liner for $38. I was like, and he said, you cannot think with your pocket. This is not about you. This is about a business number. And so if you're thinking, oh, I really want to up my prices in my salon. I really want to do these hair extensions, or I really want to do this makeup for, you know, whatever the mark is in your area. But I'm always giving them the family discount, or I'm always giving them the, you know, the hookup. Everyone's nodding. They're like, you guys know about the hookup? Have you ever had to like work that price in? And okay, this time I'm lowering it for you. So it was a lesson in learning how to value the numbers. And I'm still doing it. We all do. And so from there, I went to Makeup Forever, and then from Makeup Forever Professional, I went to MAC, and that's where I landed for about 10 years. And MAC was my ticket to New York City. And in New York City, I went to Los Angeles, and I did the MAC look, all the MAC in LA. And I was like, oh, I'm a MAC boy, I made it. And I always say to people, when I rode that wave, I really wish I would have did what y'all are doing right now. You all went to beauty school, beauty college, got your license, learned the science of hair, makeup, and nails, and went into business for yourself. And so did anybody else work the cosmetic retail route at all? Oh, cosmetic retail, cosmetics, retail cosmetics. There's a few of us sprinkled up in here. And then there's the lucky ones who just beat that whole thing. I say lucky just because didn't it feel like now that you broke into the professional side that it's a whole different experience? Yeah, it's a different experience than working in the retail. But I wouldn't have learned so much of the hands-on with, hi ladies, you want to come into class? Squeeze on in. You can kind of sit here in the corner. They're standing out the door. Can you get that? Please, that's gonna look amazing on Sosa.
Thank you for coming.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's some space over here on the ends. Come on, cross over. Cross over. All right, so inspirational talk, that's good. We went through that moment, and now I want to start by bringing a model up. I also, when I was at Mac, I tried to get a job as a trainer, and I didn't get it. I kept getting overlooked, and a trainer told me once, you know, Adamme, sometimes you have to kind of take a different path, and I'll never forget this, and I use it professionally and personally. Sometimes in order to move up, you have to move out. And I was like, the nerve. Did she just tell me to leave? But she was saying internally, you're trying to take the path of trainer, but maybe you should try taking the path of management, or taking the path of, it was management or creative, and I'm a creative. And I was like, no, I don't find space here at Mac any longer. I've come to my capacity at the company that I'm with. And so I decided to move out, and it was the scariest thing of my life. But because of that, I very quickly ended up becoming a trainer at an independent makeup academy, and that makeup academy took me into these beautiful, amazing convention floors that we come and celebrate today, where thank you so much, I love that. And then from the convention floor, I did the TV show, and from the TV show, I was invited to be on stage. And so it's just been this kind of whirlwind of a path for me. That is not your path, and everyone has their own path, and it's completely valued. And I don't believe I'm the best makeup artist in the world. I believe I was on time for my journey, my path. I think all of us are great in whatever it is that you're doing at the given time. And the judge panel, just think, how arrogant is it to think that the 4 people standing on stage who are judging each and every one of you are the only say. So I'm intellectual enough to understand that I was lucky, that I had something on my side that was more than just my eyeliner and my blush that I applied that day. It was freaking cool. I mean, my makeup was good that day, that I did. But those 4, I didn't win. There was 13 episodes or something like this. I lost every episode. On the final episode, I won the trophy. And so what that told me was, they were looking at my demeanor on set. They were looking at how I was a team player with everyone else. How did he handle loss when he kept losing and losing and losing and losing and losing and not making it? And I was just gracious. Good for you. Cheer you on. Did I mean it? Halfway. But, but you know, I just thought to myself, okay, God, and I am a believer in God. And I said, you know, God, I told myself I wouldn't do these reality TV shows anymore, because I was so brokenhearted about the first, second, and third. I was like, and that was the thing that helped me. I was on those reality TV talent shows. But I did, and it really, so I share that to say, when you're just about to give up, and you're just about to say, I'm so done with this, I don't think I have any more in me. Like, it's like that final hour where like a moment will happen. And so, that being said, my first model is going to be you, Beauty, right here with the blue hair. I would like you, come on up. Yeah.
Yay!
What's your name? Sanaya? Right here. Bam.